InventorIP.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bold Inventors Show. I'm your host, JD Houvener, with co-host Matt Kulseth. As always, Matt, so good to have you.
Good day, JD. How's it going?
Day. Going good. Spring break for the kiddies. We're west of the mountains, and I'm staring at pine trees all over and forgot all about them.
Nice. Are you any fun plans while you're out there?
This is a move.
Excursions or field trips?
Shopping here and there.
Family time.
No, this is moving my mother-in-law in with us. So this is the big pack up and move. So I've done 5 dump runs.
Wow.
And it's been painstakingly so, right? Every item is like, keep or not. We did donate, then we did the purge. U-Haul showing up tomorrow. So it's boxing and shipping. Yeah. But so mostly work, but the cousins are getting good hangout time and family. It is good family time.
Good.
So how about you? What's going on with you this week?
Just busy, just grinding,
Good.
Staying busy. So
staying busy. That's great. Well, we kind of go through ebbs and flows here. And I think it's funny, because we at Bold, we serve the everyday inventor, and it's almost like market forces or just, what people are doing, the everyday person. And so this week, I think people are on spring break, or at least the firm is. And so for some reason, we're slow, and it actually kind of works out, right? Because a lot of our staff and attorneys are also on break.
Yeah, no, I've always found that like in our practice, it's highly not seasonal, but there are certain times where like around spring break, it does tend to get slower. I haven't brought on a whole lot of new clients in the last week or so.
Yeah.
That being said, we're kind of at this size firm where, we're a big little firm, right? Essentially. So we're still kind of, and we're in a field of intellectual property where a lot of the dates are very flexible in terms of when clients choose to pay for things, right? And so clients often will push things off if they can, or choose not to pay early.
I think we've been
we're very flexible in the sense, or that if people need to push money off and pay later, generally they can do that in our field of practice.
Yeah, totally. And given that here at Bold, we do just federal patent and trademark, we're able to be, it's getting more and more predictable. And so we've continued to offer flat fees and predictable pricing. So there's no guessing, no hourly stuff to worry about. And we've really just kind of honed in on those 2 federal practice areas so we can serve inventors anywhere in the country. For those that may be joining the podcast for the first time, we're here for you, the inventor, the entrepreneur, business owner, maybe lawyer, spying on us a little bit here and there. We don't have any live viewers on right now, but if we do, encourage you to share or comment, put a comment in the link for us or our guest who's going to be on in just a few minutes. And we'll take a few questions here, Matt, from our bank.
Sure.
That came in over the week, and then we'll get to our guest here in just a minute. I do want to make an announcement on who it is. Trisha Garrett. Trisha Garrett's coming on. She's an inventor, not a client yet. Well, anyway, she's got a very cool background and a beautiful background to her video, which I would at least have her share the story about her and her equine interests.
Cool.
For sure. But let's get to a couple questions here. We might have missed last week. Or you were gone. You were out. You were out last week?
I was on spring break a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, a couple weeks ago. All right.
Yeah, we were out in Colorado skiing on dirt. There's just no snow.
No. We had that guy on, right? We had the guy with the turf board. Remember that guy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you needed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We totally needed that.
I pulled that out, Matt. Turf board. Okay. Mia's been doing an incredible job harvesting these fantastic questions. People are going to this Reddit, trademark Reddit patent forum, and just looking for answers, Matt. They're not getting maybe what they want from the Gen AI or whatever, Google. Here's a trademark question for you. What if in broadening reach, it also introduces more fallibility? This may be kind of a mid-question one. Mm-hmm. In that sense, it brings something to the table that an attorney never thought of, but then assumes or overlooks, thinking it sounds good enough. isn't also more likely to happen nowadays? Do we let it think better than we do, or use guardrails so I can't? Is this too mid? This may be a mid question.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
Okay, let's try again. I think that question was a follow up. All right, fresh question. Restart. Okay, I recently realized that brands also file Class 35 for retail and online store services. You mentioned this a lot.
I love me a Class 35 application.
Since we'll be selling our own products through our Shopify website, I'm wondering, is Class 35 necessary? Matt, you're nodding.
Well, yeah, I mean,
almost every.
You throw the word necessary in, and then it changes the calculus, right? Advisable? Yeah, for certain. If you own a website, domain where you're selling products or services, you qualify for a Class 35 application.
Okay.
Class 35 is like one of my favorite classes because it's powerful, but two, it's kind of like a sneaky way to test the waters at the USPTO. So, and what I mean by that is, like, say we have a cosmetic client who's a cosmetic company and they're starting a brand in cosmetics, and we're a little squishy on whether or not we can register that brand in the cosmetic field.
Okay.
But I know I can register it in the online retail store services category at the USPTO. So in that particular case, what I might advise is that we file in Class 35 first, being an online retailer of cosmetics, which points to that Class 3 application, and pursue that first, and then come back and cite the Class 35 registration in my product application maybe a year later. That would be kind of like the worst case kind of scenario where we would kind of implement a strategy around Class 35 specifically. But I love Class 35. It's a way to grab or argue for protection broader than you actually have.
Fantastic. And really quick primer for those that don't know what classes are.
Yeah.
Trademark classes, help you understand what is that?
Great. Yeah. So good question. So there are 45 classes of goods and services that we in the United States and a lot of the other places around the world have agreed to. And these cover everything from legal services to apparel to cosmetics to plumber services. Everything that we do falls into one of these categories. And when you apply for trademarks at the USPTO, you have to specify the class and the type of services that you're going to be rendering or are rendering. And some of these classes are more expansive than others. Some of them are more related than others. And so working with a trademark attorney can kind of help you navigate which classes are important for you to actually register in and which would be nice to have.
Yeah, fantastic. Great answer. Thank you, Matt. I think we're going to leave it at just that one awesome answer.
Cool.
Because we got our guest waiting here. She's been hanging out. Let's bring her on. You're out of here. Hey, Trisha, welcome to the Bold Inventors Show.
Hey, Trisha.
Hey, JD. Hey, Matt. Thanks for having me on. I really enjoy the show, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, good. Are you a listener? Viewer?
Yes.
You are? Okay. Yeah.
I think it's
excellent.
The consumer product ones always get me, right? Because that's a dream, right? Next to writing a book. Everyone wants to have a popular consumer product.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, tell us about yourself, if you don't mind. Give us kind of your what got you into inventing, or have you always been an inventor? I know you worked at IBM. Maybe start wherever you want and kind of let us in on who you are.
Okay. Well, I'll just start at IBM. I came in as a tech writer, and IBM has a really good inventing program. Not there anymore, by the way, but I came in as a tech writer. I thought of myself as a creative person because I've done a lot of creative writing, but not really an inventor. I really thought it was patents were primarily for the engineers who were writing the code, and certificates of originality to prove, that the code, extra way to prove the code's original. And I had a mentor who suggested that tech writers or anyone in the company, even in quote unquote non-technical roles, could be inventors in the software space. And it changed my mindset. And she was like, well, give it a try. Just her name was Jana J, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, Jana said, give it a try. Let's form some teams, invention teams. And, tech writers and designers are good at rooting out, what's the real problem to be solved? Where's the pain point? And so, yeah, we started inventing from that point of view. And led to starting in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, led to several patents and publications.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So in technical writing as a subject, I remember I took that as part of my engineering curriculum way back when we was required to take it. And it was sort of like, I'm struggling thinking what it was.
Yeah.
My mind goes to like infographics or citations, kind of like just writing is expressing technical problems, right? Like a map. Yeah.
Yeah, your documentation manual.
There we go. Yes.
Every error message that pops up. All
procedures.
Of that technical writing. Yeah, procedures.
Okay.
That was a part of it. And I kind of decided I wanted to be a designer. And that's what I do today is design healthcare software because I thought I could just have more of an impact on the front end, like the glass that people see rather than the documentation that people may or may not read, even though it was fascinating to learn about what I was documenting. It's like being a journalist within a software company.
Right. So you were an entrepreneur at IBM.
Yeah.
Right. In-house inventing. Sounds like you were talking, maybe, I don't know how much you can share, or maybe give an example on one of these where you were actually documenting the existing process. And by doing that, you're highlighting gaps where there are opportunities. Is that what you found yourself finding? Is here's a place where there could be a solution. Let's go invent something for that.
That was part of it. And I mean, at IBM, the rule was pretty much anything that's related to any IBM line of business was fair game. So I have security related inventions that, have nothing to do with my tech writing day job. But yeah, there were a couple problems that stemmed from what I was seeing. One was, I'll go with the simpler one. So you combine software into a solution, enterprise software into, you'll have 3 pieces of software that actually solve the customer's problem together, right? And I was writing generic documentation, let's say, for each of those products, but there was something missing, right, to tell you how to put it all together. And also the customer who had that solution had to go gather all those separate product documents themselves.
We lost the video. Did we lose audio too? Looked like the wind was picking up a little bit. Well, Trisha, if you can hear us, we can't hear you if you're talking. We'll see if you come back. Hopefully we get you back. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah, for those listening at home, we're killing time potentially here. JD, do you happen to know what IBM stands for?
Well, I cheated because I've got her patents up here, but International Business Machines Corporation.
Yes.
But I don't think I could have just rambled that off. It would have. What a boring name. Yeah.
The only reason I know that is there's a pretty famous trademark case involving IBM. And that's when I learned what the acronym is for. But International Business Machine, basically computers before the computers, right?
Business machines, right? Yeah, I imagine they've worked hard to make it an enforceable brand. What do you think? Or is the acronym?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that they're famous under the Lanham Act, and so they get BUCO protection from the government.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I think we have Trisha back. There we go.
Apologies for that. The old
no worries.
Apple ecosystem, phone call.
Another opportunity.
Yep. It is. It definitely is a pain point.
You were telling us about a simple example invention, a patent that you got granted.
Yeah, so it's basically a patent to a way to put together, thread together all the documents and for different products that a user has into a solution guide. Yeah. And there is more to it. It was a utility patent, so there's more to it than that. But yeah, I won't get into the. Oh yes, it was off of the system configuration, so you could read system config files to see what the user has, and then go out and gather that documentation and put it together. And keep in mind, this is before AI agents and the magic that happens today.
Someone who's listening now, maybe they're like, "Oh my gosh, Trisha Garrett, like she's a celebrity. I can't believe she's on." I wish I was there. I could ask her. Maybe they're wondering, what are some golden nuggets from maybe looking back? Give some wisdom on someone who's a newer, maybe engineer, scientist, someone tech writer like yourself, not necessarily at IBM, but maybe at some other big company, and they want to follow in your footsteps. What are some lessons learned? Big, maybe things you would have done differently.
I think the big thing was an identity shift. It really wasn't in my realm of conception that I could be an inventor without that nudge from my colleague. And, yeah.
This was pivotal. You mentioned this. Okay, so how did you get to know this colleague? I know you're not going to name their real name, but how did you make that relationship? How did it start? How did you nurture it?
Yeah, we were in the same general team or area of tech writing. And I think I had just been kind of proving myself in tech writing. And I think I've been coming up, at the time I've been coming up with ways to take our documentation and run scripts on it and do other automation to make it more interactive and high quality. And so I think maybe she saw that I had that kind of interest to invent solutions to problems I was seeing. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think another big aha was once we had tech writers and managers and all kinds of people, even operational support people who didn't think they were inventors either, kind of in the community. We were taking a look at kind of the inclusiveness and welcoming new inventors, basically really going extra to nurture new inventors, to bring them in and show them it's not such a scary process. It's actually a fun process. It's fun to solve people's problems and pain points, and that there are predictable steps to a utility patent. Predictable ways, you can evaluate the effectiveness, and that can really help people without inventing for them, help them, ask questions to help them see new angles to improve it if it's not quite there yet, and encourage them to come back and, try again.
I did pull up one of your patents. It has several other names on it as co-inventors.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a bit about that. What was it like co-inventing? I see your name. This one I had pulled up is for technology for giving users cognitive mapping capability.
Oh, yeah.
And you're the first named inventor on it.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like, co-inventing? And were they all, Mary Mueller, Richard Schwarzenegger, Richard Whelan, were they all part of your group? They're from different parts of the world. I know Richard's from
Ireland,
Dublin. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and that was one that I think Richie and I were working together because he was in charge of testing accessibility for our products, and they were industry solution products. Totally fascinating to work on, like anything that you think of that a city might need. A lot of geographical maps, for example. And we were thinking, how does somebody who is visually impaired use a geographical map, right? And I'd seen it on TV, actually, in a TV show. But so it was like, how does this actually work? And we found that there were, and we had a geographical map in our product, right? So this was a relevant question to our customers. Yeah, and then we kind of pulled in other people from parts of the company who could contribute something on it. But found a lot of geographical map inventions up till then. And this makes sense that they were guiding the visually impaired person point to point, Like if you want to get from A to B, you're going to go here and then, go to this other point and go to this other point, and then you're at B. And we were thinking there's nothing really out there that we could find in our prior art that gave you more of a spatial directional way of doing it. So, if you're going to stand here, you can hold your arms out, right? You can do degrees, right? This is 0, 90,
right.
270. And so we were focusing on, for reading our geospatial map that is on the screen, like it could be, again, anything a city worries about, like a parade route. It could be real estate planning, development. It could be houses that need to be inspected for fire hazards. Sure. It could be anything, and all those things combined. Yeah, how does someone find those various things on the map and know what direction they're in? And so, that's what our invention focused on, enabling that.
Got it.
It's cool.
Very cool. One more question before, and then I got to talk about, I want to hear about this field behind you. Yeah. In terms of the making money side of patents, I get that you're not the entrepreneur, you're not the owner of these. Mm-hmm. Have you been tracking at all? Do you know if any of your inventions have made it into products or services that are making revenue for IBM?
I did notice, I forget which one, but a couple of them had, and what I remember is one of them was licensed to Motorola, which was pretty cool to see. And it was just an extra icing on the cake. Wow.
Yeah. And excellent. Yeah. Not just a piece of paper, not just a plaque on the wall. It's, being used in commerce. I mean, certainly patents can be valuable both as defensive approach to defensive strategy and threatening posturing for litigation.
Definitely.
But IBM is, no stranger to that. Yeah. But I see on your logo and your image, you've got, horses. So tell us about horses and why horses are important to you now.
Okay. Like I said, I'm still, an employee in software developing, designing healthcare software. But I'm also an entrepreneur, and I am looking at, this is my farm back here. And so I've got a couple lines of business going. I'm offering leadership development and neuroplasticity coaching. That's a lot, I know, with horses as an experiential component of that.
Cool.
Really cool. And you're calling it the Happy Hippocampus, right?
Yep.
Now, Trisha, this must be just a way to get insurance companies to pay for people playing with horses.
Yeah.
That sounds like,
totally.
This sounds like, that's really cool. I love that. Equestrian therapy's been really, really big. It feels like the last few years I've heard more and more about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to share your website. Go ahead and talk us through it, please.
Yeah. And so, I offer, I just have to be really careful. It's coaching. So it's not like diagnosis or treatment or anything like that. But it is leadership coaching out here on the farm or online in individuals or teams. It's also neuroplasticity coaching, which is a lot to say, rewiring the patterns of our brains and nervous system. So if you have those, you're pursuing your dream and you find there's a piece of you always holding back and saying why it's not safe, it won't work, that's probably your nervous system throwing up those flags. And the idea is not to shut that down, but to explore it and kind of bring everything into piece together so that you can, pursue that dream. Become a better leader. Just be calm and less reactive to everything that's going on all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that pricing. 1, 2, 3. Couldn't be any easier than that.
Yep.
Neuroplasticity coach. I'm going to take that hit there.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
I'm always afraid it looks like a fake price.
No, it caught my attention. It makes me want to book. So you're doing business there. You're doing it obviously on the side. Do you have any help, or is it just you? What are your goals kind of going forward?
Yeah, I'm pretty early. I just founded 2023, so pretty
Okay.
early going
Yeah.
forward. I did get my trademarks for
Hey, good way to go.
for the Happy Hippocampus. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that branding. Do you mind if I
Yeah.
answer about that? Because it's a fun name, right? And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
playful. Tell me about the name really quick.
Yeah, so the hippocampus is a mythical seahorse that pulled Poseidon's chariot. So it's got the nice nerdiness that I like.
Oh, that's so cool.
Did not know that.
I was thinking a part of the brain. Okay,
It
sorry.
also-
So hip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
It's
that's
also
awesome.
part of our brains.
Yep.
That down
Sounds
here
like-
kind of this is your spinal cord brain, right? It's kind of down here processing memories, and especially how you feel about the memory, right? Like terrific, highly recommend, to very bad, do not recommend this situation.
Yeah, whack that out. I'm
Yeah,
permanently
don't do
not.
that again.
Oh boy. Okay.
So that's your hippocampus. And so, yeah. And so branded merchandise, I perked up when you mentioned class 35. I'm not protected with that right now.
Okay. Well, you're
Someday.
selling stuff
Someday.
online. Yeah, you've got some merch, but mostly services. That's kind of the heart of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So-
Well, good. Well, I've got your website shared. Are you willing to share your email if anybody wants to reach out and maybe personally connect with you? Is that
Oh,
something
sure.
you open? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead with that.
Okay. It's long. But
Sure.
somehow-
I may be able to copy and paste. Well, here we
Yeah.
go. I can.
So it's hello at thehappyhippocampus.com. So hippo like HIPPO, and then campus like campus together. So hello at thehappyhippocampus.com.
Okay. Good. I'll work on that. Well, any final word? So hello at thehappyhippocampus.com. Oh my God, I think I might have did it. I might have done it. Let's see if I wrecked it. Feel free to email Trisha. Let's see, how did I do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Okay. Well, feel free to reach out to her there about that or any part of her story there. If you're inspired and want to get a hold of her. If you missed us and you're watching this after the fact, we are live every Wednesday, Pacific time, noon Pacific time, each Wednesday. Matt, any final words to wrap things up? Thoughts?
Yeah, lovely to see both of you today.
Yeah, same, Matt.
Same
Trisha,
here.
pleasure to meet you. Thanks for sharing your story, and be well. Enjoy your
Thank
work
you.
and what you're doing on the
And your
on the
gorgeous
side. Yeah, it sounds like you're doing great. Take care, everybody. Go big,
Thank you.
go bold.
Mhm.
Bye bye. And
Go big, go bold at boldip.com.